Where do I begin? Okay, 2022. The year was such a roller coaster. As cliche as that may sound, it was truly filled with lots of ups and downs and extreme highs. This year, a lot of my ultimate dreams became a reality. I was surrounded by incredible, incredible people. I experienced many new things for the first time. I lived on my own while documenting my life to the internet. And I went to way too many damn concerts. But let's rewind a little and take a look back at my year together. Alright, let's roll the highlights. I started off the year by going to Disney. I think the last time I had gone, I was probably 6 or 7, which is over 10 years ago. So this was just healing my inner child. It truly is the happiest place on earth. It's just so magical and so beautiful. Next highlight is Coachella. I have been wanting to go to Coachella since I knew it existed. I grew up watching YouTubers go all the time, and I love music, especially live music. So my sisters and I just decided to go this year, and it's such an out-of-body experience. It honestly feels like a fever dream. It's the most tired my body has ever felt, but also the happiest it's ever been. And I vlogged all of these experiences, so if you guys want to go watch more detail, it's up on my channel. Another big highlight was going to the Besame Mucho festival and surprising my parents with tickets for their wedding anniversary. It was like Mexican Coachella. It was filled with artists I grew up listening to because of my parents. Hombres G, Paulina Rubio, Los Dionix, Julieta Venegas, Juanes. Literally the best lineup ever. It was very nostalgic and just such a beautiful core memory I'll always hold deeply. Another big dream of mine has always been to go to New York City. I love traveling and exploring new places, so when I found out I could travel, I had to go to my dream city. It's just so beautiful and has so much history behind it, especially with immigration. This was supposed to be a trip during high school, but because of the pandemic, it was postponed. But it was cool being able to reunite with my high school besties. I'm glad 2022 me got to go because I feel like high school me would have taken it for granted. Also, guys, I finally got my driver's license this year. That looks like a mugshot. Anyways, driving is so scary. I got in a couple accidents, but we won't talk about that. I prefer just being on the passenger side. Driving around with my sister and just talking about life while listening to music are some of my favorite memories I made this year. So thank you, Ale, for that. Another wonderful memory was going to Harryween. For those who don't know, Harry Styles does a show on Halloween. The first was in New York, so when I found out he was coming to LA, I knew I had to go. I didn't have tickets the day of, so I literally went to the box office and got face value tickets in the 100 section. It was just so incredible. The crowd was incredible. I was literally behind Chris Olsen when the whole daddy thing happened, and Harry looked directly at us. It was just the best night ever. So for 2023, I want to spend more time with my family. I think we have amazing moments, but I just want to continue that. And also just spend more time with my younger brother. I feel like since he doesn't have any brothers, he sort of feels left out. So I just want to make him enjoy his childhood as much as he can. Now to things we are not bringing into the new year, rejecting love. I have a really hard time accepting love from others. It's something I spent the majority of the year dealing with. It was a situationship that just was never really there. It was all in my head. But I really want to open my heart up this year and start accepting it and think of the possibilities of what can be and not what could have been. I also want to doubt myself less. I feel like even though I'm pretty confident, I always second guess myself, whether that be in school, in my career, or even with YouTube. When I have a video idea, I'm like, oh, it's not going to do well. But you never really know until you do it. So I'm going into the new year with a new mentality. If I really want to create it, just create it. Now on to lessons I learned this year. I learned how to be alone. I moved into my first college apartment, and although I have a roommate, she's either in her studio most of the time or with her boyfriend. So I spent a lot of time with my own thoughts and with my own emotions and being able to just be myself. I always bounce my energy off the people that I'm surrounded with, and it was very scary not knowing who I was when there was no one around. It gets very lonely, and not always in a bad way, but definitely causes you to go fucking insane. Like, I'm literally talking to myself all the time. And I'm glad that I got to discover new things about myself in that way, and just learning to be okay with being alone. I also learned to live in the moment. My entire life, I had been living in the future. I've always wanted to do the best that I could to get into college. And now that I'm in college, I'm obviously thinking about my future, but I feel like now I'm finally living for myself, for present me. And it's changed my whole perspective in life, and being able to really just live in the moment and appreciate life with my loved ones, especially with COVID and everything. I feel like I really just appreciate the time I have with my parents, with my siblings, with my best friends, with just people I genuinely enjoy company with. And yeah, 2022 is a year I know I'll always remember, and that's why I wanted to create this video from the perspective of having just lived it, because I feel like memories are altered as the years go by. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers, which is insane to think about, but genuinely thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm finally going to be creating content that I've always wanted to this year, so I'm so excited. So if you're interested, please join me on this journey that we call life, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye. Take care.